be down here. Okay, I'm not taking that home. Alright, he's not going to buy any more of these. That doesn't belong there. I don't know if I sold him these before, but I'll find out. Okay, so he'll accept that. It's interesting, if you go around to enough traders, they automatically won't accept so many stacks of certain stuff. Now, I don't know if... Yeah, I already did the maximum. Alright. So, the only thing is I do have to go upstairs and have a look in the...
Well, it's about time you bought something.
The vending machine before I leave. I'll head up there. Yeah, so it was kind of like the next alpha that comes out was a massive debate for my group that plays plays on my server. Because some of them were like, oh, it sounds fantastic, you know, all this kind of like different changes. And half of them were like, this is awful. I'm not sure if I'll even keep playing, which was kind of an interesting contrast. I'm going to take your pasta. Give me your pasta. Yeah. I initially didn't know how I felt about it. I was kind of like, doesn't sound that great to me. But then after a while, I'm like, you know what? It's probably going to be pretty interesting. It's definitely going to be harder for us. Okay. Pretty sure you're empty. Yes. So you can take those. And probably that. Take the money. Getting to that point where I've almost sold out everything I need. Except for the meat, which I left at home, which I really wish I brought with me. Let's see if I can just carry this. I want to sell that and this stuff. I'll highlight some of the changes. Say add more zombies and more standard game customization. Yeah, so some of the changes that are coming to the next alpha, and I don't remember all of them, so I'm just going to do the best I can to remember. So one of the changes was that they have raids now. So that was something that they don't want to release it until they've got that mechanic in. So what it is you'll have non-zombie AIs come and open doors and unlock things and just let themselves in, and you have to fight them. And the idea is that, obviously, I guess the idea is that they're there to steal your shit. I don't know if they actually do, or if they're just there to just, you know, beat the crap out of you and try to make it hard when you're in your own house. Because even if you're in a bunker with, like, steel locked doors and stuff like that, they can unlock it and let themselves in. So that was one of the new mechanics I personally didn't like, because I play 7 Days to Die to fight off and survive against zombies. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. I think it's supposed to spawn in the area that you're in, is my theory. However, if it spawns and they get into your base and you come back to your base and you're running back in there to grab like a first aid kit, I could only imagine that just pissing off so many people. But on the flip side, some people love the idea of having to engage with, you know, a more intelligent system in the game that was more likely to surprise you. And like I said, that was not something that I particularly liked. What else? There was more interactive kind of components. Oh, such a bad landing. Good enough, though. There was supposed to be some more interactive components, like dealing with radios and doing, like, I guess, comm missions and stuff like that, I think. Let's see. Keep getting zombie spawns in your base. Okay, I can tell you why that's happening, even if you have a land claim down. So what happens is, if you leave your base for a prolonged period of time, or you leave your base and a respawn in your area occurs, what happens is the zombies in a pre-established house will still spawn. So even though it's not supposed to, because you've got a land claim down, they still will if you go further enough away or gone for long enough. So that was the problem that I used to have, because I had the water tower as one of my main, like, massive bases that I had. And every time I came back, there was a zombie dog downstairs, and I'm just like, you got to be shitting me. I'm not dealing with this. That's as much as I can sell with him, I think. I know. Yeah, so I found it horrifying because every time I came back, there was a
Those
fucking
damn
zombie dog
things are
in my
selling
base.
like hotcakes.
But what I ended up doing to avoid that, and the only way I found to prevent that, because I tried putting traps down, I tried putting blocks in the place of where they spawned and all that sort of stuff, and nothing worked. And what I did find worked in the end was building a standalone base in a location where things were not spawning. That's why my base is custom made. I should be able to grab whatever else is on here now. Yep, okay. I didn't sell the fuel. That was what I didn't sell. Alright. Yeah, because we had that problem for ages, and we just couldn't figure out what was happening and why it was every time we kept coming back from like a big, what you call it, a big quest or something like that. After like a few days, we'd just get zombies in our base. And the biggest surprise
Well, it's
was
about
when we
time
went
you
back to
bought
the water
something.
tower, and it turned into nighttime, and we made a heap of noise, obviously, while we were using our furnaces and everything. And what ended up happening is that the zombies inside had spawned and ran up the inside of the building and surprised us. I'm going to head back to my base now. I know I'm facing the wrong way for this, but it's fine. Alright, come on, get up in the air. Yeah, so that's basically what happens with it. I'm not sure why the game does it, but that was the reason that we figured out, at least. And yeah, the only way I could prevent getting the zombies spawning in the base or animals spawning loosely in the base was to build a standalone building. And it did apply to if you built something, like if you demolished the building itself and you came back and just like replaced it with a different frame, they weren't able to spawn in the same places. Like they'd still spawn on the land, but not up in your building. What else is there? Okay, so about the other changes to the game, I think there was supposed to be, I think there was supposed to be a couple of different zombies. I think I just don't quite remember. But yeah, I know that they were bringing in like missions where it was like com based or something like that. I know that the actual trader missions were changing. So instead of going over to a trader and taking a level 1 quest, for instance, there was like different rewards and all sorts of stuff. Trying to land in here safely. There we go. Good enough. Give me that. I don't think I've got enough room to carry up, yeah, the rest of the stuff. That was what I was supposed to take with me. I sold a good amount of stuff. I'll go down into the green probably next. I'll probably just put the last bits of like the food away. And that should do it. Alright. They also were changing the mechanics of the books. So in the game, if you read a book, like you get a book and it's either a closed book or an open book, and you've either read it or you haven't, and that's a full level. So if I were to go into, say, here, right, I have read all but book 3 of The Art of Mining. However, the change to the books that are coming is that each book requires so many documents instead. So it kind of gives you a magazine instead. And the idea is that you, say, have to read so many magazines to get your skill level of each book up. So the problem with that is when you've got, say, like my group, where we've got 4 or 5 people on a map, and everybody needs to read, say, a book that says, I don't know, like, let's just go with like the Night Stalker. Everybody needs to be able to do more damage at night and stuff like that, right? And so if I find a Night Stalker magazine in a town over, I would be more enticed to read it instead of sharing it, because what would happen is that would take me from a level 6 to a level 7, potentially. Whereas at the moment, if I pick up, say, Night Stalker Volume 6 and I've already read it like I have, I can say to my friends, hey, has anybody read Night Stalker Volume 6 or not? And they can put their hands up, and that person that hasn't read it will get the book. That's how it works. Whereas the new version would be, you're not enticed to share it because you're working on getting your levels up. So it's a little less group friendly is probably the best way to look at it. So we're just back at the base. I'm going to go down to the green area in a moment, but I'm going to put some of this stuff back because I'm going to be like, let's see, 6. We'll take 6 because I think there's only 2 traders down there. And if that's the case, I'm not going to need as much of what I've got. Let's see. Try to keep 2 stacks here so I can see what I'm doing. Alright. So give me extra ammo for that. Put that away. And then I'm going to the wastelands after this. So I'm gonna want to bring some extra ammo for this, because I have made that mistake many a time. So I'm gonna need probably about that much. Alright, so we've got 2 stacks of this. Let's see, 2. That'll be enough of that. And I will actually want, actually, need an extra stack of that to make sure that this is full. And if I'm going down to Greenlands first, have I got any more? Yeah, I do. I'll take more shotgun ammo. I won't take all of it. Actually, that would be a smarter idea, hey? Because what'll happen is they won't necessarily take the entire stack of everything. There we go. All right, that works a little bit better. So I've got 1 trader each and a half kind of thing. Okay, so that's my ammo. I need to go chuck that in the room. This is my room. You haven't seen my base before, so I'm just putting the coins from today's sales up in here for the moment. Now, I accidentally brought an extra stack, so I'll have to get rid of that. Oh, give me that. So in here's my actual, like, storage. I'm gonna need my turrets for the wastelands. And I'll probably end up wanting my motorcycle, but I'm not going to get to take it because it's too far away. All right. So, yeah, this is my room. So, my spawn bed, my bookshelf with my maps and stuff. Now, I do actually have to put a little bit of healing on my drone. So, I actually think these things are what works. I put these on them, and I swear it works, but, like, not that great. Can you stop being trapped in here for like a minute, please? Oh yeah, you've got stuff on it too. Probably a good thing I checked that. And you know what? You can take for now, you can take the turrets so don't accidentally sell them. And I'm going to need turret ammo as well. So let's see, these can go in there, and the profits from today can keep going into here. So I've got just a little bit more to go. I've got that. I do need to put away the extra shotgun ammo, that stack, because I don't think it'll sell. But yeah, see, I've got like so much bullet casings and so many bullet tips and stuff like that. And I had this entire thing full, plus half of this. I had 2 rows of 7 and I had 2 rows of 9 in here as well. So I just had a stupid amount. And the thing is, like, with gunpowder and stuff like that, like, I am a massive miner in this game. Let's grab my couple of 1.5 stacks should be enough for the wastelands. I'm a massive miner in this game. So this is like my workshop area. I think I was still making yucca smoothies. I don't do things in singles, except for this, because everything's so bloody fast in this. If I was to make beer, it's literally like a click of the fingers and it's done for like a stack of, like, God only knows, massive amounts. Let's put these yucca smoothies away on there, here. And I just sold like 3 rows of yucca smoothies as well, and coffee and all sorts of stuff. And I just sold a whole heap of mushrooms and potatoes and a little bit of corn. But like, I've got massive amounts of seeds, like generally I had up to the hundreds and stuff like that. And the thing is, I've got plants already out here, which they're almost ready, I think. Where are the pumpkins? Yeah, they're ready to harvest. Might harvest that before I leave, actually. No, I'll have to do it after I come back. This tree, also I planted this for one of my viewers last week. He was asking what the difference between planting out in the snow versus planting in like dirt is, which is in my farm plots. So the real difference is the height. So if I was to chop this now, I've got to go down to it. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's only at 600 at the moment. I have to wait till that hits 1200, but at the moment it's the same size as out there. It's just up a little bit, but it will get higher because it's in a farm plot. It'll get to 1200 in dirt, versus if you plant it in snow or in the desert or basically any biome that is not soil, it'll only grow to 600. So that is the interesting thing about it, I guess. Well, I do get little lag spikes occasionally, and usually in this game it's normally indicative of like a zombie horde, but I haven't even seen any today. Now I say that, and I say that like all like excited and curious and stuff, but I know I'm going to get overwhelmed at one point. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I had a massive desert base. I mean, like, it was a friggin' castle. And my desert base had 300 plus trees out the back. I completely leveled the back area myself because it was like a hill. And I'm like, if I'm going to plant trees, I'm going to make it flat. The only problem is, so once you plant over 150 of any one type of tree, the natural animals of that biome spawn. I don't know if many people know that, but so I did put down I think it's redwood trees spawn zombie dogs because they're in the area of the green biome, but oak trees spawn wolves. So I kept planting like 300 odd trees, and what I ended up having was just this absolutely massive area with dogs and wolves under it that you can't see the bottom of some of the trees, and you're literally walking tree to tree, and occasionally there's a freaking dog or a wolf. It's terrifying. I hated every second of it, and I never made the friggin' mistake of planting so many of one type again. Um, Not if I was going to be the one harvesting it. I'm not saying I never planted 300 trees again. I definitely did that. If you have a look at my Instagram, I have photographic proof from the air of that giant forest that I planted in the Greenlands. But that wasn't my problem to cut down. That was one of the server players, Flanky. It was his problem. Um, awesome. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you, Moose. I normally actually have mushrooms up on this wall, but I haven't been growing them for a little bit because I kind of want them to kind of settle down. I've got so many at the moment. But I better head off and get to this next area. Now, you've got my turrets. You can take my turret ammo so I don't sell it. And I'm going to just open these up now so that they're open and available for sale. I'll just put my extras over here for the next place. Alright, 2 and 3, and this can go over here. So there'll be 2 more traders. I'll get a little stack of coins. That should be enough. And if I don't use a lot of ammo, what's going to basically happen is I'm going to end up in the next area, and it's almost nighttime actually. I probably better kick it. Yeah, first traders. Yeah, I'll head that way first. Well, so my base walls, by the way, they're three wide with a 4th wall kicker to prevent zombies from digging. Also, that rubble that's over there used to be the old fire pit for my guests. Kind of like built this little fire pit, and apparently they hated it. And I'm like, it looks so nice. Like, they made it, and it looked so nice, just like this little like patio out there. And they like literally made a rocket launcher in my base, turned around, walked outside, and blew the thing up with the rocket launcher. I'm like, you sadistic pricks. I'm like, that was nice looking. Mind you, my base is not the prettiest, but it's pretty awesome. I had to put the furnaces more than 3 stories up to stop the screamers from coming as frequently, because I am very prone to, say, having 2 furnaces and 3 cooktops running at one point in time. And so the thing with screamers is they are attracted to not only sound but heat sources, and furnaces and cooktops make both. So in the cemetery base that we had on, I think, the last server, um, we had this massive cemetery base, and it had like these underground catacombs and everything. And I decided to make the cooking area up top in like the initial area where you'd walk in. Like we had storage and we had the cooking area, and we had these huge walls, which we only had one wide. It wasn't my base, it was my friend's base. So he had full creative control over the place, and I only really just like made the kitchens and stuff because, depending on who finds the place and lays their land claim down, that's whose base it is on my server. So that base back there, that's mine. It's got my land claim, and my friends can visit. And if they wanted to, they could have made base out of it as well. But they wanted to be in the green zone, and I wanted to be in the snow. So the compromise was 2 bases. But yeah, this catacombs base we had. So we honestly thought we'd end up with screamers downstairs where the furnaces were. But one day I came back to the base after a mission, and I'm like, I can hear a screamer. And I did a quick perimeter check, and I didn't see anybody. I'm like, oh, she must be downstairs. So I quickly ran downstairs, and she was not downstairs. I'm like, where the hell is she? Like, maybe she's glitched out somewhere. So I had like another couple of run around inside and outside, and then I'm like, screw it, I can't find it. Maybe it's doing that thing where it's like glitched out and, you know, just making the noise. So I'm like, I grabbed all my materials and went up to the cooking area, and there she was, attacking the cooktops. She had broken through a wall at the opposite side of the base, walked all the way through it, up a ladder, and into the kitchen, just to attack the cooktops while we were gone. And I came back and had to fix up the wall. And, like, generally on my bases, I have multiple walls because I'm like, I do not want them coming in and nibbling on me while I'm doing stuff. But again, like I said, wasn't my base, wasn't my design sort of choices and stuff, so I left it be. But man, was I more careful after that. So you had you caught a screamer once in a steel bar cage, and it was like an all-day horde. Oh my god! So after I do the sale, I'm gonna head over to the wastelands. Right, it's gonna be nighttime already, and I'm gonna do my final trade at the other wastelands. Probably could have done both up there, honestly. That's right. If you hold shift, so uh, Pervy Grim, one of our followers, he actually mentioned to me if you hold down shift instead of clicking this, you can automatically select the full amount. So here, if I hold down shift and click, it's the full amount. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until like last week. I've been playing this thing for like a good couple of years. And I still keep forgetting about it every single time I try to sell something. Okay, so that's the most they'll sell. Alright, so they actually took a bit of extra, and that's okay. You got any books? No. I've also used this at least once already, the Forgets It elixir.
Much obliged, stranger.
I can usually make them. Alright, so we're going to head off to the wastelands, and it's going to be well and truly nighttime by the time I get there. And the all-day horde that you're talking about, you wait until you see this. I'm thinking maybe the bigger town's going to be better, and I'm not saying anywhere safe, but I'm just going to try to land somewhere in here. Wait, have we got is there a car park? I'm looking for a large rectangle with a piece of water circular in the center. Not seeing one. What about over here? No. Okay. So if that's the case, I'm going to just head towards this bank. It's going to be the thick of night by then, so I don't know how things are going to go. But I'm going to want to be able to pick up this gyrocopter as fast as possible and just get up somewhere. Oh yeah, that's our friend's base. So theirs is actually underground. So it looks like it's all above ground, but it actually goes under. It's very complicated to get into. So we ended up using a bunch of latch doors, like trapdoor type things, to be able to set up being, what you call it, um, closable kind of like areas that you can walk onto, like steps. That way other zombies can't get up if they do get in. And the funny thing is, like, our bases on this server have been so unique compared to any other server we've ever been on. Just for the fact that, like, all the feral sense at night. So not only will the screamers come like crazy, as I'm shooting down her and anything else that she's got, it's going to draw in the feral scent, loose zombies that are in the area as well. So it just goes mental. So that's what I'm going off to do now. It's almost nighttime. 22 will be night. We'll get up here. It's actually not that far away from green. I always feel like it's a lot further away. But yeah, in this space, if you see that like cluster over there, just above the gyrocopter, they had their previous base on one of those buildings. And what happened is, even though it was a massive tower that they had, that one on the end, that one there, they had like a fallen over building that they made their base into, and the zombies tunneled underneath it, completely destroyed the structural integrity of that building, to the point that while they were standing on it, parts of it were starting to crumple away. And for a long time, they couldn't figure out where they were coming from. But apparently, they had just started tunneling from like out on the road. That just like got stuck on something and just kept going, and more zombies had gotten in there, and they just kept going. And they just came back one day, and the building was crumpling, and they were hearing zombies, and they're like, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's just going mental. I'm also running out of fuel. I should probably fill this up. Yeah, so they ended up abandoning that place because it was going to be a lot more effort to fix up than it was to actually, um, like, you know, just kill and move, which was a shame because it was such a cool, tall building. Here's our desert area. Funny thing is, we don't actually have a lot of mountain range. We actually only found the desert area once I got the gyrocopter, because for some reason, like, we stayed completely on that half of the map entirely. We never came over here, and we couldn't find the wasteland. We thought for the longest time we didn't have a wasteland, but it only just starts like right there. It's so dark at night, and when I get into this wasteland, I'm not going to be able to see anything because of the like smog. There we go. Alright, let's take it in lower so I can see where I'm going. Not going to be able to see until I'm nearly hitting the treetops. Alright, there we go. Oh god. Don't hit the tree. Oh no! For the love of God, don't land, don't land. I don't want to land out here. I can't get back in the air. Alright, that's good enough that I can kind of see where I'm going now. I generally try to fly high enough up, stay up, that the birds aren't, like, hitting me. I can hear the zombies. Alright, so I'm going for somewhere over here, because I believe it's kinda in town. Alright, there's a tall building. Also, I don't know what kind of building I'm landing on, or trying to land on. Okay, so that's where I was trying to go for. There's a car park. Okay, I could probably survive on a car park if I could get down. Not saying I will, but I'm gonna try. Ah, this greenie's right away. Come on, give me this. I've been here before, which is why this place is like so worn out. Alright, I need my back clear for a second. Where are you? I'm gonna need you in my inventory. Oh, there's a Bernie guy. Okay, maybe reload your gun, hey? He can reach me, by the way. He's just not trying hard enough. I want to be on that little roof, and I want to be on it now. Need a box. Oh, God. Get out of my face. Okay, give me this. Give me the little box. Alright. Actually, I can't kind of shoot underneath here. Also, because I've got feral sense, they're not quite certain where I am. So yeah, last time I was on top of this thing here, which was a light pole, and it did not survive. Can I get over to that building? I kind of want to be a little bit lower to the ground than this. It looks like a normal house. Maybe I can jump over here. Alright. Yeah, over there looks alright. Welcome back, Dan. Just about to deal with a lot of zombies because I'm in the wastelands and I'm making a lot of noise. And I'm just trying to find a good spot. I'm gonna go this way. Alright. Where is that lady? Whoa, shit. Calm down. Alright. Here we go. It's going alright. I was trying to sell off as much of my excess stuff as possible, which I've made like a fair bit of money because I've got so much extra gear in this game for playing like this particular game for like half a year. And now I'm shaking stuff up and making it a bit more interesting by running into town at night with feral sense on, and zombies are going everywhere.